Hello, my name is Minello, and I am a sophomore in the accelerated math track. Last year, in my first class, we didn't do any problems, but we instead discussed why we learned geometry. This had a big impact on me because I understood the purpose of what we were learning. However, I was a little bit intimidated by geometry, about proofs and theories, because it was unlike anything that I had done in math my entire life. After struggling with the first few tests and quizzes, I met with Mr. MacDonald and we went over ways to improve my study habits. Soon, my grade improved and I carried my success into algebra. I studied math by doing practice problems, going over old homeworks and tests, as well as looking at mistakes from old quizzes. If I were to give my last year self any advice, it would be to not give up hope due to a bad grade or a mistake on a test or quiz, because there was always a way to bounce back, meet with your teacher, and do better next time. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Thomas McCarthy, and I am a sophomore at Regis High School, and I am on the regular track for math. My first day of math classes at Regis were interesting because I met my teacher, and we seemed to get into things way quicker than I expected, which I actually really liked because we wasted no time, and we got right into our first topics, and it was just a review, and I really enjoyed it. What worried me the most about that year of math was keeping up with the pace because right away I realized how accelerated it was. The topics that really captivated me in freshman year of math were the proofs because I really enjoyed not only finding my answer to a problem, but being able to prove it through multiple steps and using different theorems and postulates. The ways I studied math were typically just going over homework, printing out a new sheet of homework and redoing it, making sure I could get that muscle memory, because math is just like a sport. It's practice, practice, practice. My most memorable math class was definitely my first math test when I had studied very hard the nights before and I went in expecting something very hard but realized I was well prepared because if you put the effort in, you practice, 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 math will come to you. And my advice for my last year self is definitely to work hard, pay attention in class, and make sure you do a lot of practice because math can only come to you if you work hard and you practice a lot.
My name is Tommy Clark, and I'm a current senior on the advanced math track. What that means is that this year I'm taking Calculus 2, and last year I took Calculus 1. On the first day of Calculus class last year, I was excited but also a little nervous. I've always really liked math, but I had also always heard that calculus is supposed to be really hard. But I quickly learned that there was nothing to be afraid of. Given the strong foundation that had been formed over the past 2 years with geometry, algebra, and pre-calculus, as well as an excellent teacher, it was not difficult to succeed. I'm personally most interested in the pure math side of things, so I was most intrigued by topics such as differentiation and integration techniques, but if you're more interested in the real-world applications of calculus, there is plenty of that as well. The most memorable math class that I took at Regis was probably in my sophomore year pre-calculus course. It was my first real introduction to calculus and higher level math. It includes topics such as trigonometry, sequences and series, and limits, which all come up a lot in calculus. If I could give my freshman year self one piece of advice, it would be don't be afraid to ask the teacher for help. And this is true for all classes, not just math classes. At Regis, most of the time, the students that seek help the most are the most successful.
My name is David Jimenez, and I'm a senior in accelerated calculus. My first day of classes this year, I was ready and excited to continue learning calculus, but I was a bit nervous about having a new math teacher and being in a class called accelerated calculus. My teacher is really nice, however, and she explains everything in a way that's easy to understand. My first day of math class as a freshman, I was similarly nervous about having a new teacher and learning math at a new place. But the teacher also explains everything well, and the class was fun, engaging, and easy to follow. Last year, I was in pre-calc, and one of the topics that really got my attention was matrices, and learning how to use them to solve a system of equations and how to simplify them to reduce row echelon form. Some of my most memorable math classes have involved matrices and logic, because it's almost like progressing through a puzzle. Throughout my Regis career, I've mostly studied math outside of class by going through the textbook and previous quizzes and tests. However, one piece of advice I'd give to my past self is to not be afraid to go to teachers for help or if any issues come up, as they're very understanding and helpful. There is also great peer help available should you ever need it.